They're gonna be like, where's my lava? And they won't know where the lava went because you replaced all the lava with nether rock. Mud. They're gonna be so confused. Those ghasts are not gonna know what hit them. Archer, you're so funny. I love this. That Minecraft is like a thing now. We got something going on here. Some kind of haste action going on here. These guys are getting pumped. Don't die. Maybe I should be kicking something. I'll think about it. Maybe. Maybe I should be kicking something. My name? It's a combination of my cat's name and my name. Exclamation mark, name. Hold on, what's going on here?
2, 1.
Hope spirit.
Oh, okay. So don't open the rewards until you get the Super Bloom or until you get that quest? Because I have not done a single Super Bloom yet. So all of that is new to me.
3, 2, 1.
Hope spirit.
Do I need to start doing those now? Start farming some blooms? Ooh, what the? They hit me right in my chest.
3, 2,
What?
1.
Hope spirit.
What are you pinging me for? Okay. So, tell me a little bit more about farming super blooms. What's the strat? What do you do? Do you have to like wait for them to spawn? Do you just like hang out in the area? Is it certain times? What are we looking at here? What's the deal?
All right, when it comes to our first boss in Black Rook Hold, we've got the Amalgam of Souls, and there are a lot of important things that you need to remember about this fight. First off, what we have to look at is the overview. The Amalgam of Souls will battle all the players until 50%. That is the end of Phase 1, at which point we'll move into Phase 2, and we will talk a little bit about the importance of killing all the ads, which are the tortured souls. If you don't, a lot of bad things will happen. Let's go ahead and take a look at Phase 1 and the abilities that we're going to have to encounter. So in Phase 1, we're going to see Glaive Toss, which is going to inflict a lot of physical damage to a player and then bounce to a nearby player. So healers, you got to be on your A game and make sure that everyone's topped off when that does happen. The next ability is Reap Soul. This is something that the tank is going to have to focus on. This is an ability that the boss does in front of him, and it makes more like a half circle effect with a lot of purple shadowy kind of colors. So when you do see that tank, you want to get out of the way of that, because if you don't, you're going to take a lot of damage, and then you're going to get a debuff that's going to increase the damage that you do take. You're also going to see Soul Echoes. Soul Echoes is something that a random player will get. You want to move out of the way and get away from your other teammates so you can drop it on the ground. You will see a remnants of your character there, and that will detonate and explode if anybody's nearby. It's going to do a lot of damage to that player. And then lastly, you're going to see Swirling Scythe. Now these are purple circles that have a scythe that's spinning in the middle. You just want to make sure you're not in that area or in that vicinity of those scythes when they do drop on the ground. Other than that, you'll be fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at the responsibilities for DPS, healer, and tank, and then move on from there. Alright, DPS, your main job in this fight is to stay away from your teammates. When you are afflicted with Soul Echoes, you want to drop that off somewhere so that the soul that's left behind when it detonates, it doesn't do a lot of damage to you or your teammates. Also, when you're targeted by Swirling Scythe or Glaive Toss, get away from your teammates. Drop those off somewhere where it's not going to affect the team so you can continue to do the DPS on the boss. Now, for you healers, it's the same exact thing as the DPS. The only thing that's different is that you have an added task and you have to watch out for Reap Soul, which can hit the tank and deal a lot of damage to him, and then the tank's going to take an increased 100% damage for 30 seconds. If that does happen, make sure to top him off and keep him alive. Now, as far as the tank goes, the only thing you have to worry about is not getting hit by Reap Soul. It's going to look like a half circle purple mist. Once you see that, run through the boss and get behind him. Let him go ahead and do the Reap Soul hit, and then you can run back to where you were and continue tanking the boss. Now, phase 2, all 3 of these abilities, Call Souls, Soul Gorge, and Soul Burst, are linked together. The boss will start by doing Call Souls, which lures these spirits from the outer edge of the map into the center where the boss is located. You don't really want that to happen, because if the souls do get to him, that's when Soul Gorge will happen. He will absorb one of these souls, which will increase his damage by 30%. And it's not his normal damage, it's his damage of Soul Burst, which is the last ability that will happen if he does consume one of these souls. Soul Burst will inflict a lot of shadow damage to all players by releasing that spirit, so you don't want these spirits to reach him. What you can do is use any of your CC abilities to stop these spirits, burn them down so they don't reach the boss, continue the DPS on the boss until he dies, and that is it. It's a pretty fast fight. Let's go ahead and take a glance at what this looks like in real time.
Every 1 hour. Oh, okay.
Help spirit.
I'll forget what's going on with this boss. We'll find out, won't we? Oh. Oh my.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
I think there's better ways of doing this. My trinket usage there. Right now we gotta kill these guys, right?
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
I'll cleave him a little bit, boys. Well, he got super rooted there. That was insane, CC, actually.
2, 1.
Help spirit.
Oh, is it? Didn't look like he had very much energy at all there, buddy. Didn't look like a single one of those souls really quite hit you there, bud. Kinda got outplayed a little bit, didn't you? Oh boy.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
Bam. Again, one of these nights, we are gonna really need to do some Death Wish Fury PvP. We really do. Okay, so every hour on the hour, there are super blooms. So you just go out to the zone, just run around, and what do you do? Road quests and stuff. Yeah, it's called nice damage. You follow a tree. Okay, sick. Sounds good. Nice. I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh, we have to dodge them boulders again, aren't we?
Men, the invaders come for us. Do not let them pass.
3, 2,
Boy.
1.
Help spirit.
Are we the invaders? suppose we are. Is Aug Evoker fun to play?
3, 2, 1.
Just knowing that you're buffing your buddies. Because I think Aug Evoker came out in Season 2, and I didn't really play very much Season 2. So I think I missed all the Aug Evoker kind of like really mixing things up, you know? Like in Arena and stuff. But I can see it being good.
Help spirit.
But it seemed like people were like, like not understanding what it was supposed to do, and like not wanting it in groups more than they wanted it. But I feel like that's probably mostly just noobs who like didn't get what it was supposed to do, right? They're just looking at like details and like you're not doing damage. Like I saw a lot of that stuff, but that surely couldn't have been like the main sort of response to it, right? And I don't feel like I see really any Aug Evokers in PvP now, at least.
2, 1.
So
Help spirit.
they at least have become less of a kind of annoyance. At least they're played less, right? I don't know. I'm also wondering if I should just like pop off like back to back. So I think my stacks do stack up, like the Bloodthirst things. I think they do. So I could just do back to back big rips, but probably not. Probably spread out the avatar a little bit. But even that stacks, so who knows? Maybe mostly about like generating some rage for rampages. Who knows? Yeah. Kind of there.
2, 1.
Well, I think it's a cool idea to have like a support class that's not a healer in WoW. Whether it like really worked out great is one thing, but I still think it's kind of like a cool idea. But I can definitely see that being really annoying because things in Arena that don't do anything would just make it so their team just can't die. Like, that's kind of annoying.
2, 1.
Help spirit.
But in PvE, making your teammates do like giga damn, that's kind of cool, I guess. Whoa. Scared. Did I pull that, or like what happened there? I hope I didn't pull that. Oh. If I was moving it up, sorry.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
Let's see that rascal in a second. Cut it out. Oh, geez, in this too. I feel like I remember doing this dungeon a little bit in Legion. Did I do Mythic Plus in Legion? I think so.
3, 2, 1.
We definitely have done Mythic Plus here and there. Yeah. Over the years, definitely. We've been playing a lot of games this past year, so things kind of don't remember as much. We actually have played a ton of games over the past little bit. For sure. Oh, he's definitely very immune right now. Oh, he got enraged, that's why.
Help spirit.
That's why. And we'll keep on playing a bunch of different games, I think, too. Right now is kind of a cool time to, what's that? Right now is kind of a cool time, to focus on 10.2 a little bit, I think, though. Oh, yeah, this one.
Alright guys, we are on to our second boss in Black Rook Hold, which is Illysanna Ravencrest. Let's go ahead and take a look at the overview of this fight. Basically, you're going to be fighting Illysanna on the ground as her Fury Bar builds up. Once it hits 100%, she will leap into the air and use her I-Beam on a random player. That player needs to run around because it's going to leave a lot of nasty green fire stuff in the back. Ads are going to spawn. You want to burn down those ads. Once her Fury goes back down to 0, she will land on the ground again, and you continue the same fight you were doing before. Now let's go ahead and take a look at these abilities that we're going to see in this fight. Vengeful Shear is something that the tanks are going to have to worry about. Really big attack, does a lot of damage. Everybody else needs to worry about Dark Rush. Illysanna will fix her gaze on a player or a group of players, and she will dash at them, creating a burning effect behind. We'll talk a little bit more about what to do in that situation when Dark Rush is targeted on you as a player. We're also going to see Blazing Trail, which does a lot of damage if you step in it. And we see Brutal Glaive, which, like the previous fight, if you are targeted by this and hit, it's not only going to do damage to you, but it's going to put a dot on you for 30 seconds. And Brutal Glaive will bounce to another nearby player, so you want to keep your distance when Brutal Glaive is in effect. Let's go ahead and take a look at the responsibilities for DPS, healer, and tank, and go from there. Okay, DPS, so when two players are targeted with Dark Rush, you want to get together, which will minimize the amount of fire that Illysandra's going to produce behind her. It does stick around. You don't want it to be all over the place. Also, when Brutal Glaive is out, you want to keep your distance from other players so it doesn't spread on over to them if you get hit. And when the Risen Arcanists show up, you want to kick their Arcane Blitz because it will do a lot of damage and it will increase their damage by 50% for 10 seconds. And the bad part is that ability does stack, so make sure you do kick that. Alright, now for you healers, it's the same thing as the DPS. The only thing that's different is that you need to make sure that the tank is staying alive. Watch out for Vengeful Shear, as it does a lot of damage to the tank. Just watch the tank, do exactly what the DPS is doing, and everything should be just fine. And for you tanks, make sure that you're using your defensive abilities. For Vengeful Shear, it will do a lot of damage. You want to reduce that damage as much as possible. And avoid the Risen Vanguard's Bone Crushing Strike, which we'll talk about here in just a second. So Illysandra's second phase is when she goes into the sky. She will cast I-Beams on a player. That player needs to run around because as the I-Beam is being cast, it's going to be putting Fellblazed Ground. That character needs to run around and keep that Fellblazed Ground kind of concentrated in a certain area. You don't want to step into it because it does a lot of damage. The tank also needs to worry about Bone Crushing Strike, which will inflict a lot of damage and stun all players in a cone in front of the Vanguard for 4 seconds. So do watch out for that. And also watch out for the Risen Arcanist Arcane Blitz. That will do a lot of damage and increase their damage by 50% for 10 seconds. You do want to kick that. Other than that, it's a pretty simple fight. Let's go ahead and take a glance at what this looks like in real time.
This boss right here, huh?
You cannot escape. The hunt is eternal.
Get these guys to talk about this one.
3, 2, 1.
Hope Spirit.
We pinged it, but I wasn't really paying attention anyway.
You cannot escape.
Now I get it, though. That's a cool strat.
Hold them off. I will burn you alive.
Come on over here, boys. Come get cleaved right on down.
3, 2, 1.
Hope Spirit.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm gonna adjust my position just ever so slightly here. Don't really feel like getting stunned there. I remember doing this dungeon, but I definitely don't remember like all the stuff. Hold on. Are they what?
3, 2, 1.
Hope Spirit.
Did you look at the website? Because I don't know what that word usually means. Usually it means like I associate that with fish. And water drop is definitely not fish. It's like little fruities. Little tasty fruities. Then again, I don't know if it applies.
You cannot escape.
3, 2, 1.
Help spirit.
Oh no.
I feel like we've been fighting this boss for like 4 years.
You cannot
Tyrannical,
escape.
baby.
Wait, is it tyrannical? Might be. It's fortified.
Cannot escape.
3, 2, 1.
There we go.
Help
All right, Nuwada, thank you so much, and big flex for you. Thank you, thank you. Like broth? Okay, no, it's not really broth. No.
Careful for stones.
No.
Both are target capped, aren't you?
They just
Just split it up.
dissolve real quick. Well, it makes a little fruity drink. Very tasty.
Breathing this.
Take that. Alright, gotta figure out what we're gonna hit here.
Knocking.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is unfortunately a little target capped. My whirlwind cleave.
Help spirit.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna roll. There's another one somewhere. I'm trying to find it.
It's in the back.
Got it. Got it. How to get it? Insane.
I guess I will not pop everything on this
Gonna roll
last
this
little pack here.
Bowling balls are out, be careful.
Yeah, I rolled them in. We can see them now.
Alright. Got him. And so I've pronounced this Aegis forever, but
Help
could
spirit.
pronounce it Aegis. How do you pronounce it? Because I gotta ask you.
Way back there, it's fine.
Aegis. Okay, we can do mega pops here, I think.
Knocking
I don't like
into.
using my bloodthirst that way. I have to though.
3, 2.
Well, how you actually pronounce that word is like Aegis, but that's not.
DR's out.
Bowling balls.
Oh my god!
Don't you heal? Got you leaf guy.
But people can decide how their name is pronounced, regardless.
And bowling ball.
I'm just getting hit by everything, but I'm barely surviving too.
3, 2, 1.
Gotta send it sometimes.
Careful.
Aegis or Aegis.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah. It's a military weapon system. Well, it's also like a mythical shield or something. So yeah, it's a thing that people name stuff after. Yes.
Huh?
It is. It's a thing. It has some kind of mythical or legendary element to it. But either way, thanks so much, dude. Welcome back for the 55 months. Thank you, thank you. And currently, thanks for 57 months as well. Thank you. Very neato. I like pronouncing it Aegis, but and Noah, thank you for the prime as well. Big flex for you too. Just curious.
Oh, I'm just telling him. Going.
People like actually it's Aegis or something.
I'm just
It's like,
telling him
okay,
to kick first, and then we can coordinate the rest of them.
I can respect that. However, Aegis actually sounds to me it sounds the coolest.
Breathing this.
3, 2, 1.
Come on. I can get next in orange if you need.
Something off to do, yeah, I kicked first, so
Okay.
wasn't sure if we were doing it.
Got orange.
Get that one.
I got nipple next.
Star next.
At least myself. Should be good. Roaring.
3,
Look at us
On
go.
the very top.
1.
Help spirit.
I've got diamond.
Something's looking at me funny. Oops, sorry. Oh, no, that was Star. That's fine. He said he got diamond, so we're good.
I got next.
Or go ahead, Ski. You got it.
I got diamond and dungeon. This
Yeah, I got the new one. I got star.
Going up.
Where? The R's are up.
3,
I got that
2,
one. Okay, nice.
1.
Hope Spirit.
Look at these dudes.
We got star.
Do you see the afflicted? Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Look at all these mabs.
damage.
There's a whole lot of fury pumping going on here, boys.
You should be able
I've
to
got kick on star.
Alright guys, we are now at the third boss of this dungeon, which is Smashspite the Hateful. And in this fight, we're going to be dealing with a lot of heavy attacks on the ground. Also, Smashspite will summon these fell bats, which will come from the sky. They'll target different players, and they will release a deadly fell vomit, which will do a lot of damage, and it will stay on the ground. Let's take a look at the abilities that we're going to be dealing with in this encounter. So Smashspite will be doing an earth-shaking stomp. This stomp is going to hit the ground, do some damage, and push all the characters back. You just run back in and start dealing damage. He'll also do a Hateful Gaze, which is his preparatory ability before he does Hateful Charge. Once Hateful Gaze is set on one of the players and expires, he will do a charge, which will do a lot of physical damage and knock them back. The most important thing to notice here is that once Hateful Charge is done on one of the players, they will get a debuff for 1 minute that will increase the amount of damage a Hateful Charge does to them by 500%. So if they take another Hateful Charge, then they're most likely going to die. We'll talk about how to avoid that later on. And the last one is Brutality. We'll talk a little bit more about Brutality and how his Brutality gauge does go up over time, and once it reaches 100, he will unleash something called a Brutal Haymaker on his current target. Now, if the tank is doing his job, that Brutal Haymaker is going to hit the tank because he's going to be focused on the tank. It's going to inflict a lot of physical damage, plus the tank is going to get a debuff where his damage taken is going to be increased by 75% for 10 seconds. So be on the lookout, healers. Make sure your tank doesn't die. Now, as for the DPS, your job is to stand between Smashspite and his target when he does Hateful Charge. Only stand in between if the target has the debuff from an earlier charge, because if they do, they're going to take 500% extra damage and die. In this case, if you don't have the debuff, you're going to get the debuff instead of them. That way, both of you live, and then after a minute, that debuff is going to wear off. As for you healers, it's the same thing as the DPS. Make sure that you're getting in front of those players who have the debuff already from the Hateful Charge. If you don't have it, cover them. Also, make sure that your party is staying alive after the Earth-Shattering Stomp. It is an AoE effect, it does a lot of damage, and make sure that your tank is staying alive from the Brutal Haymaker. And as for you tanks, make sure that you're minimizing the damage taken by Smashspite's melee attacks, because the more damage he does, the faster his Brutality bar fills. And once that Brutality bar is full, he's going to do a Brutal Haymaker. And just like the DPS and healer, make sure you're getting in between a player who has the debuff from a charge so that you can get the debuff and save him from taking 500% extra damage. Last but not least, this isn't really phase 2. It kind of happens through the fight, but he will summon these Fellbats to come and target certain players. Once you have a green line targeting you, make sure you get out on the side of the map, because these bats will vomit on the ground, which is called the Fell Vomitus, and it stays there through the entire fight. If you step in it, it does a lot of damage to you. So, knowing all of this now, let's take a glance at what this battle looks like in real time.
Alright, what's this guy up to, huh?
My charge. I'll kick star.
Hope Spirit.
So don't you have to, like, soak the charge for your buddies every time? Is that what's going on here? Just gonna burn this guy down real quick.
Can we tank him near the wall so we can bait this? Thank you.
Got him. Maybe just one person takes it, right?
3,
Definitely for not.
2, 1.
Gotta make sure I'm slamming every once in a while when we need a global like that one. I think I like pressing Roman more just because it's a habit. Oh my god. Do that. Don't slam instead of blood thing though. Don't do that.
3,
We'll soak that one for the homies.
One.
I don't know if it needed it soaked or not, but...
Oh, damn.
Help spirit.
Hold up.
What? Double line?
Yeah, it's just always like, get off. me.
Whoops. Did I mess this up?
From Bajheera.
I'll take.
Go for it. I don't have anything for this knock.
I mean, I gotta attack at some point.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Help spirit.
I'm hit with 2 lines.
Is this red thing, is that like a debuff?
On me.
Yeah, I got the double now too.
So we know who can and can't tank it? I thought the line was targeting me, but no, it's something different. I think I was just standing over there for no reason for a little too long. Oh no, I had both.
2, 1.
I had both the line and the
The other one? It's on me.
thing.
No, I tried to just cover it.
Whoa now. Whoa now. Okay. Alright. Got Lego? No. No, but I've only ever put in one attempt on it, so. Hopefully we get it, but we have not gotten it yet. We haven't exactly been on the grind.
3.
I wouldn't mind just going ahead and getting it. Like, use some of my leftover, like, my leftover Tayshalak bad luck protection. You know, 250 runs on Tayshalak. It'd be okay with me if this one was like, yeah, so you farmed that for a bit and didn't get it for a long time. So let's just go ahead and give you Legendary a little more quickly this time. That'd be fine with
Watch
me.
your feet in your voice. Nothing?
Watch your feet. Let me just
2.
throw some more ground clutter real quick. So I have fun. These guys just jumping all over the place, man. Should I turn off damage text real quick so I can see?
Knock them up in 2.
Nice.
In case you wanted more stuff on the ground, I put darkness there.
Perfect. There we go. Even more
Can't even
junk.
tell the difference when that rug's in the way. I think it's just so dark on the
2,
floor.
1.
The rug actually hides the AoE. What the heck?
I got the other one. Nice. I'm gonna come in here and roar. Oh, that AoE save. Good work.
Just tapping them
Oh,
down.
what? Not a chance, dude.
Alrighty. Oh, yeah.
You're blasting this key.
All right, we've arrived at the final boss of Black Rook Hold, and this one is a really, really fun fight. So, the overview of this is Ravencrest is going to engage with the players until he hits about 20%. Once that happens, then his advisor is going to turn into the Dreadlord that he really is, named Dantalianax or Dantalianax, however you want to say his name. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the abilities that we're going to be dealing with in this fight. So we've got Unearing Shear. The tank is going to be dealing with this one a lot, does a lot of physical damage, and also puts a bleed on him. Keep an eye out for Whirling Blade, as this is thrown at a targeted player, traveling back and forth from the position it was thrown. Does a lot of damage and also knocks players back. You will see the advisor on the outskirts of the map, and he's going to be using Dark Blast, which first you'll see a shadow purple line on the ground followed by a big blue blast. Stay out of this. You don't want to get hit by it. It does a lot of shadow damage. And since we're dealing with a Dreadlord, you're also going to have Shadow Bolt. It's going to be there. It's going to do some damage. Can't really avoid it, so healers, just keep an eye on your team's HP and make sure that they're not going to die. Also, there are 2 more things we got to look at in this fight, and those things are Stinging Swarm and Itchy. So Stinging Swarm is going to be a swarm of these insects that are kind of come around. They're going to do a lot of physical damage every 1 second. It also has the ability to stun its target for half of a second when dealing the damage, and that's where that debuff of Itchy comes into play. That's the half a second stun. So DPS, your job is to kill the stinging swarms to avoid damage, and also the itchy stun, which is that half a second stun. Also move in a circular pattern to avoid the big dark obliteration that happens in phase 2. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a minute. As far as you healers go, Unnearing Shear is going to deal a lot of damage to your tank. Make sure that he stays alive. You can also dispel the Cloud of Hypnosis, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. And when dealing with the Dark Obliteration, make sure you're moving in a circular motion just like the DPS. Tanks, you're going to be hit really hard with Unnearing Shear. You can't really avoid it, so use any defensive cooldowns to mitigate that damage. Also, make sure you're killing the stinging swarms to avoid damage, and being stung by Itchy, which is that half a second stun. And when the time comes, make sure you're moving in a circular motion when the Dark Obliteration begins. Now, at 20%, Phase 2 does start. You're going to get Legacy of the Ravencrest, which everybody in the party is going to get an increase of 300% with their damage, healing, and even their health. We have Cloud of Hypnosis, which it's a cloud that causes anybody who enters to be put to sleep, taking damage, or leaving the cloud will remove that effect. Dreadlord's Guile, when the advisor splits into multiple people, or rather multiple images of himself, and he's all around the entire map, he'll cast Deadly Dark Obliteration, which is this big beam of shadow damage that moves in a circular motion, and that's why you have to move in a circular motion to avoid that damage. And when Deadly Dark Obliteration is not going on, you will see the Dreadlord casting Shadow Bolt Volley. Just watch out for that. Knowing all this information, let's take a glance at what this looks like in real time.
3, 2, 1.
Ow. Is this the last one?
Turn away.
Purple.
He said turn away, so I did turn away, but it's like, wait a minute, that's not part of this mechanic. I don't think. Sometimes you have to do that, but I don't think that's part of this guy's thing.
Turn away. Turn away.
Oh.
2,
Oh my.
1.
Blade's coming out. Careful.
Pretty sure we want to save cooldowns for when he actually ascends. When we get the Giga damage buff, right?
3, 2, 1.
Hope Spirit.
This is my ancestors. Illysanna.
We do no damage for a second.
Heroes, you must defeat him.
Yeah, give me some buffs. I'll get right on it.
Souls of my ancestors, to me, aid our champions.
Give me some damage.
Does he know about the dance?
It's actually getting toasted.
I think so.
Probably. You knew about the damn buff. So.
Just get rid of dodge here in a second. Just
Yeah.
avoid the purple stuff. And just kind of like run around the room.
Okay.
To be now. With the edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just dodge the purple. It goes the wrong way the first tick,
Yeah, right.
and it turns back. Kind of jukes you out.
Yeah, I kind of remember this from Legion, yeah.
Legion and Plus was wild. You could swap gear, change everything in the dungeons. It was a different time.
Are we buffed yet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're juiced
Yeah.
now.
Just less.
3,
Yep.
2, 1.
Hope
breath
Spirit.
ball.
Oh yeah, now we're buffed for real.
Watch the sleep puddle.
It's funny because we're like back to Legion numbers when we hit them now.
Oh yeah, millions.
We're hitting for millions, yeah.
Yeah.
Back to Legion.
I
Nice.
will counter. Whatever you
Yes.
come, we will meet, and we will defend our.
How neck is that guy?
Ooh, if you don't need that ring, Ski, that's huge.
Reverse mastery neck. I think that's good for me.
I'll trade you mine.
Can
trade ring.
What's that?
Hey, where are you?
Nice, see you. Thanks.
Oh, you trade something.
I think that's good.
Did you get his neck?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. Nice.
Sweet.
Did you get all of your keys done this week?
I think so. So let me look. So it's fortified?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're chill. You're gonna get huge score next week. You do another round of 22s and stuff, you'll be 3K.
Nice. Like 2,500 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gains. Gains.